Okay, in section 2.5 we're going to see how to transform a graph, or transform a graph by shifting or dilating or stretching one of the common graphs. So the first thing you want to do is commit to memory this list of common graphs here. And so this table has all the domains and the ranges of your basic functions, like a constant function, identity function, f of x equals x, the absolute value function, quadratics, cubics, square roots, and cube roots. So you should memorize these pictures and try to remember the domain and range as well. And then once you're given a function like f of x equals, or y equals f of x, then you can transform this function in a number of different ways. So this is the rules for how to reflect or shift a graph. And so if you start with y equals f of x, then there's a number of different changes you could do. You could have a times f of x. A times f of x is going to stretch or shrink the graph vertically. So this is stretch / shrink vertically. And so it's a stretch if the absolute value of a is bigger than 1, and it's a shrink if the absolute value of a is less than 1. Okay? If there's a negative out front, then that's going to be reflecting over the x-axis. And then if there's a negative inside of the parentheses, then that would be reflecting over the y-axis or cross y-axis. And there's two more changes. We could add a number inside the parentheses. Like you could have f of negative x plus h, or f of x plus h. And so the h inside is going to shift left or right. So this is going to cause a shift left or right. And that's going to be the opposite of whatever you would think. So it's opposite sign. So if h is a negative number, you're actually going to shift right. And if h is a positive number, you're going to shift left. Okay. And the last thing is you could add a number k outside of the parentheses, and this is going to cause it to shift up or down by k. Shift up / down by the value k. And in this case, you're actually going the same direction as the sign, so same direction as sign. Okay, so those are all the kind of possibilities. And so maybe I'll just do one example here. Let's say you start with the common graph y equals x squared. Which looks something like that. And let's say that you want to transform that to be y equals x squared plus 3. Well, then what that's telling you to do is, because that's like the value where k is 3, this is telling you to shift up 3 units. So you're just taking every y value of y equals x squared and moving it up 3 units. So that's what I mean by the same as signs, because you're actually going up. Now if you did y equals 2 times x squared and let's say that I actually did negative 2 times x squared, then what you're going to do is you're going to shift, you're going to actually reflect across the x-axis. So you're going to go, it's going to be a parabola going down, and because there's a 2 there, you need to stretch it vertically. And so it's going to grow kind of twice as fast, or stretch vertically twice as fast. So you can see it's just narrower than the original blue graph. Okay, so that's the basics of transforming graphs by shifting and reflecting.